Hello, fabulous Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2014, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, as I looked at the sky for you, I couldn't help but think about where you've been and also where you're going. And so last month, I told you about finding this balance between career and home and finding your resolutions where you need to in those matters. Now, for this month, before I talk about this month, I do want to talk about what's actually coming up for you next month. And I'll talk more about it then. But what we do have happening next month is a solar eclipse in your sign. So I do feel like this month is largely preparation for the really big changes that are coming up ahead, because a solar eclipse in your sign always denotes an important new beginning for you, and it always denotes seeing your life and yourself differently and choosing a new path. A solar eclipse in your sign is you standing at a crossroads, deciding what direction you're going to take, and it is you fully accepting what has been in front of you the whole time. Now, as I said, I'll talk about it then, but this month is incredibly valuable in making sure that when you do get there, the beginning you have is one that is open-hearted, one that is joyous, and there's every reason it would be, and one that is truly consciously chosen, and one where you can be really enthusiastic about the changes that are coming up ahead for you. This month, what we have happening are a few different things that suggest the universe is really wanting to prepare you very well. There's a very strong focus on friendships and on other people, especially in the beginning of the month, but really throughout the month, it tends to be an important theme that I see running through. And this is an energy you actually end last month with. So you're ending February with an energy of fun, an energy of friendship, an energy of support being there as well. Sometimes maybe idealistically so, maybe seeing one of your friends is just way more awesome than they actually might be, but that's really okay because it seems to add inspiration to your life. Or on the other hand, it could be a friend who provides an omen for you, who provides a source of inspiration, of love and light in your life that really helps you connect with source and spiritual meaning in your life. And so you're carrying that energy in the first part of the month. So if you haven't felt it, by the time we get you to the end of February, you will in the beginning of this month, in the beginning of March. And then we get you to later part of the month, and we get you to the middle and the later part of the month. And it does look like, especially when I look at this energy of fun and of other people sort of building and being there, it's very easy to become distracted. And so I would say to you, while happiness is something that is so important, absolutely, like full stop. Happiness, very important. There's a quote I love by Pharrell Williams where happiness is the truth. And I think that's very true for you now this month. It is about what sense you make of that happiness, what sense you make of that joy that's going to set you up very nicely. As I said, because you're starting the month with this very idealistic energy where you may not be seeing other people, especially your friends, very clearly, it is going to be up to you to strive to see the people around you as human, to strive to see them in a more balanced perspective, to strive to see them as, take the inspiration, of course, take the love that they have on offer, of course, and at the same time, be open to the wonderful possibility that they are also learning. So just don't put anybody up on a pedestal because it's not necessary, and you can still gain a lot of benefit from those interactions. And especially once we get you to the middle of the month, it is going to be really important for you to think about more practical applications of what it is that is asking for your attention in terms of fun. What events are you being called to? What is it that's being inspired in you? And more than that, I look at what's taking place this month, and I think about this whole idea of what is it that is trying to come forward. Because so much of the energy, and especially once we get you later and later into the month, so much of the energy is very unconscious. So much of the energy is about what's happening in the dreamscape. So much of the energy is what's happening just beneath the surface, that I would just ask you to be a little mindful of what is happening in your dreams, and what is happening under the surface is actually trying to come to awareness for a reason. And if you can acknowledge it now, if you can acknowledge it in gentle ways by keeping a dream journal, if you can look at how maybe what you're enjoying, what it's inspiring within you, or how maybe after you do something that's really fun and you have a dream, how maybe those dreams are trying to speak to you. whatever it is that comes forward, this is going to be the time to be honest with yourself and document it, because once we get you into next month, what I'd really like to see happen for you is that because you've been doing the work, because you've been looking at what's within you, what you really believe, you've already sort of been through this process where you're able to document your dreams and you're able to say to yourself, oh, okay, that's what I think, that's what I believe. Well, I don't think that works for me. That's okay. And oh, wow, I didn't realize I ended up in this particular job, in this particular environment, because this is what I believed. But I think maybe at some point I want to try something different. It's like that. There's very subtle hints that are coming through as to what truth it is in your personal life that the universe wants you to see. What it is within you that you are really ready to shift in your identity. What it is that has begun, where you begin to acknowledge what has served its purpose. And so allow these awarenesses to come now more gently than they would otherwise, because the full awareness, the full impact is coming. And when it does come, the wonderful new chapters that are going to be coming up for you, you can be so better prepared and make sure they're even more wonderful by doing the work now. Doing the work by seeing what is it that your life is trying to teach you, what is it that it's trying to show you, and especially what is it that you seem to sort of find yourself in, whether it's environments, relations especially. But in particular, what emotional states do you sort of find yourself in without necessarily being able to explain it? What seem to be karmic themes that come up again and again in your life? In fact, I would even go as far as saying, and I'll talk more about this in the love video, but I do think that that is really where, and in that environment where you're going to see a lot of really karmic, very fated type of attractions taking place for you. And it's part of you seeing yourself more clearly. It's part of you looking at what it is that you're attracting into your life and why it is that you want what it is that you want. And so these are all areas that you're going to want to pay attention to now. Pay attention to your life, pay attention to love, pay attention to your attractions in every way. In people, yes, but also in terms of the activities and the interests that you have. Pay attention to those now and strive to be honest with yourself now. Anything that's good that's going to come about, and there's always something that's good that's potentially able to come about. I do think that the good stuff that's there, the good stuff that wants to come forward, it's going to come forward. Actually, there's a certain surprise element to it. So it's almost like the work that you've already done in the past, the nice things that people are already saying about you, all of that is already in place for good things to find you this month. And so allow yourself to be open to that. I do see that towards the end of the month, there is at least one opportunity that kind of comes up, and it's because someone recommended you without your knowledge, or someone said something nice about you, or some sort of referral comes through that gives you the opportunity to experience greater connection with another person, but also greater prosperity as well. So that is there for you. Trust that you've already put that work into place. And this month, strive to be honest with yourself as you prepare for some very bold and wonderful changes that are coming up a little bit further down the road. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.